ban the coach and the team. So do we punish the coach and the kids on that team? Do we ban the entire organization? So that means all the coaches, all the board members, all the kids, any age group, they're done. Or are there some other sanctions that you think should be put on there? And, of course, I can't put that on Twitter, so I just have other sanctions. You can go on Facebook at National Youth Sports Radio, and if you think there's other sanctions, because that poll's on there, you just have to make a comment. What other sanctions do you think there should be? And Bill Dallas, I think I'm saying your last name right. Bill Dallas makes a valid point in the Facebook Live chat box. It depends on all the facts, and I agree. I mean, obviously, we should not making decisions. We should not be pointing fingers until we have all the facts. That's why I'm saying I'm not attacking the Atlanta Ducks. This is just what I saw on Facebook. This is what I saw on the social media accounts. So that's who's involved. I don't know the facts of this thing. I haven't seen this video. I'm only going on base what I saw. But the question raises a bigger question. Not just about the Atlanta Ducks, because we've had this cheating happen all over the place, whether it's in Atlanta, whether it's in Florida, South Carolina, Washington, D.C., Nevada, Texas, California, Arizona, you name it. There is some case somewhere that you can find on social media where someone is accusing another organization for cheating. Just look at all of the tournaments that go on around the nation. How often do you hear about teams loading up, cheating, falsifying birth certificates? Look what happened in the Little League World Series. The team, I think it was out of Brooklyn, New York. They got caught cheating. You compare that with the issue with the Atlanta Ducks, and that's small potatoes compared to what happened in the Little League World Series. There was a big thing in Florida that occurred where teams were cheating. They were loading up their teams with kids that were much older, playing in like a 12, 13U or even a 14U matchup. And these kids were 17 and 18 years old. And, I mean, it got so big, it was such an issue that there was major gambling going on. It was a police investigation because of illegal gambling. Come to find out, they had a 22-year-old that was on the field with the 13 and 14-year-olds. This is a big problem. I want to be a Katy. They can sign up to be a Katy Texan. As long as they pay their fee to play, sign up the proper forms, they're a Katy Texan. They could be the best kid in youth football. They could be the worst kid in youth football. Doesn't matter. They're a Katy Texan. You can't turn that kid away and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, we're all full right now with running backs, and maybe there's another team that'll take you," or you hold tryouts. There's no such thing as tryouts. That's all that select football. That's the places like Texas Select. There are leagues for that kind of play. I get that. That's fine. There are tournaments that go on all over the nation. Some of them are asking for tournament teams, which are, that's a select team. You can go pick, cherry pick all you want and build yourself a team, basically, which you don't really coach. You just stand by and just give them a play, and they go and run it. There are some teams that'll bring their original fall team to compete in these tournaments. And, they're great teams, but they get smashed on because you got a team that's just loading up. But then you got those that will compete in a tournament. Let's say it's an 11U football game. Well, they can't find enough 11U players that they believe to be excellent football players. So all of a sudden they start looking at some 12, 13. Oh, hey, that 14-year-old looks young enough. Next thing you know, they become an 11-year-old. But you watch the kid drive up to the game. These kind of things happen. Now, social media has been that platform where people are trying to expose those that cheat. But that's a slippery slope as well. Because you think someone's cheating doesn't necessarily mean that they are. Do you have the proof to show it? How do we regulate this? This is a big issue when it comes to youth sports. And I don't think anybody has the answers right now. But just in Texas alone, there are so many different leagues. There's no way they're all going to come together and agree on any kind of sanctioning body. There's no way they're going to come to agree. If it's anything like Texas, I think it's the same thing in Georgia. I've seen the different posts for the different leagues, organizational leagues that are out there. They can never agree, can never get along. They all hate each other. They're all trying to get over on each other. Thus, this will continue until that changes. But in the meantime, each individual league has got to find a way to rectify this situation. They've got to find a way to regulate how they will curtail the cheating and what they should do. What they should do if they are caught. I'm all for it. I hate the fact that kids are the ones that suffer in this. It's the kids that suffer the most because of adult decisions. And I go back to the hashtag that I've used in the past, and I still continue to use it. I haven't posted it in a while, and I probably should. I'm going to post it right now. There you go. Adults must do better. We must do better. We are our future's example. What are we teaching these kids? What are we teaching these kids? If we as adults condone cheating, if we're the ones that are out there trying to make sure, hey, we're going to give Bobby Joe the ball because he's 14, he's bigger than all of you, and he's going to just plow right through them. Y'all just act like you're doing something. We're going to win this game, and we're going to be champions. What kind of man are you, is what I've got to say. And I'll say that to anybody. What kind of man are you? Are you that hungry to claim yourself as a youth football coach champion that you will go to that length to cheat, to make sure you get the trophy? Because the last time I remember coaching, and I've coached before in youth sports. I've done it. I've done it for years. It was never about winning championships. It was about competing, and it was about teaching the game, and it was about teaching the game of life. If I get to hoist a trophy, great. I'm going to enjoy it with my kids. We're going to have a party afterwards for the kids. We're going to have a great time. If we don't win a championship, we're going to party with the kids, and we're going to have a great time because they just successfully played a season of football and learned a great sport, a great game. But I will never put myself in a position where I am not someone those kids can look up to and model themselves after. We are our future's example. So if we teach them to cheat, what do you think they're going to learn how to do? What are they going to do? Well, coach did it. It's okay. He got away with it. 979-353-4421 is the number to call. What are your thoughts? Am I right? Am I wrong in saying this? Do you think I'm wrong? Because if you think I'm wrong, I want you to call. I want to hear from you. Are you sitting there by your computer listening right now going, I don't know about that. I've never cheated. I'd never do anything like that. But you're the one that has got that 11-year-old against 7 and 8-year-olds. Bill Dallas says it becomes criminal when it involves injuries. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. But, it's a fine line, unfortunately, because, who do you charge? Yeah, you're going to charge the coach. Well, the coach is not the one that caused the injury. It was the kid who was twice the age of the player he was playing against hitting him. Technically, it should be the kid who's charged. It's got to be governed. And like I said, all of these different leagues in the different cities, counties, whatever, they're never going to come together. They're never going to agree. It's never going to happen. Let's just be honest with ourselves right now. That's never going to happen. So I put this on the individual leagues themselves. What are you doing to govern this? So in the case of the Atlanta Ducks, if it is true, if they did put in an 11-year-old against a 7 or 8U team, if this truly happened, the league that they are in, what are they doing? And the next question will be, are you making it public? Should they be made to make it public? Should a league come out and make a statement on social media? Because that is where all this is showing. This is where all this comes up at. And face it, social media right now is the new news network for anything that you want to know. Should they come out and say, we have received information in regards to the Atlanta Ducks 7 and 8U tackle team using an 11-year-old player. An investigation was conducted, and the findings revealed that head coach so-and-so of the Atlanta Ducks did in fact use an 11-year-old to play in a football game for 7 and 8-year-olds. Therefore, it is the decision of the league that coach so-and-so of the Atlanta Ducks will be banned from coaching in the whatever league. Furthermore, the 7 and 8U Atlanta Ducks team will be disbanded for the season and no longer allowed to participate in any games and will forfeit remaining games. Should that be somebody? That's just an example, folks. Don't get excited. Should that be something that should be done so everybody can see it? Or are we shaming somebody too much? Because I think there should be some sort of accountability. There's got to be some sort of accountability. Hey, we do it when we get some uniform provider that steals your money. You see that all the time on social media, man. People just shame them out left and right. They will call them out by name, posting emails and everything else to shame them out and say, don't use this dude. He's a crook, blah, blah, blah. He's going to take your money. Look at the crud that we got. Something to think about as we move forward during the week and as the seasons continue. Great football coming your way. We'll be back tomorrow as we will continue this conversation about cheating in youth sports. I want to know what you've got to say. Send me an email at nationalyouthsportsradio@gmail.com. Or you can call the NYSR listener line at 979-353-51. Share the show with us tomorrow at 12 p.m. Every Monday through Thursday here on NYSR National Youth Sports Radio. It's the Kennie Long Show. Thank you for joining us. Y'all have a fantastic day. We'll